Welcome to The Explainer. You know, we hear all the time that some divides are just too wide to cross. But what if that's not true? What if the right melody could actually build a bridge? Today, that's exactly what we're looking at. A single musical performance that shows us how art and faith can connect us all in ways we might not expect.
All right, so let's start our story inside the historic Kołobrzegu Cathedral. We're in Poland, and I want you to just picture this space. It's a sacred place, built for worship, for quiet reflection, but on this one day, that silence, it was filled with a concert. And the sound was, well, it was something that's really hard to put in a box.
And that's exactly how someone in the audience described it. It wasn't about big excitement or loud applause. It was this deep, contemplative calm. You know that feeling? When everyone in the room is just focused together? That's when you know you're part of something really, really special.
But here's the thing. The music filling this Catholic cathedral wasn't what you'd expect at all. It was this incredible fusion, a mix of different worlds, all coming from a group called the Shaul Bustan Trio. Their sound is basically a story of cultural harmony in itself.
So how did this music get here? What makes it so unique? Well, to really get it, we've got to follow the incredible journey of one of the musicians.
Okay, so let's meet Julia. She's the trio's violinist, and she's from Poland. Her personal story is kind of the perfect metaphor for the music itself. It starts in one place, one tradition, and then just beautifully blossoms out to include so much more.
I mean, just look at her path across Europe. It really tells you everything. She starts out with that super strict, disciplined world of classical music in Poland and Austria. Then she heads to Paris looking for something different, the creative freedom of jazz. And that whole search, right, for both structure and spontaneity, that's what finally leads her to Berlin and to this trio where she realized, hey, I can actually be both kinds of musician at the same time.
And that was it. That was the key. This trio was the perfect fit. Because the music had all this structure, it was written and complex. But then there were these big open spaces just left for improvisation. It meant she wasn't just playing what was on the page. She could play what she was feeling right then and there.
Okay, so what does this music actually sound like? I mean, how do you even create a sound that feels ancient and totally new all at once?
Well, think of it like a recipe with 4 key ingredients. You've got the foundation, the structure of classical composition. Then you add the spontaneity and freedom of jazz. Then you sprinkle in the unique flavor of Arabic instruments. And at its heart, you have these soulful Jewish melodies. It's this amazing, deliberate blend. And if you take just one of those things away, the whole sound just falls apart. Let's zoom in on one of those ingredients for a sec, the oud. Now, this is not an instrument you normally find in a string trio, right? Including it was a very specific choice. It brings this deep, resonant, and unmistakably Middle Eastern vibe that tells you right away, okay, this is something different.
And the effect of all this, it's not just some academic idea. It's something you feel. Julia actually says playing this music is a physical thing, a sound so packed with emotion that it feels like her blood flows faster. Wow.
So, this brings us to the person who put this all together, the composer and leader of the trio, Shaul Bustan. Because you have to understand, this sound isn't just some cool experiment. No, it's the result of a really deep personal philosophy.
And this is where that whole idea becomes real, something you can almost touch. Just think about it. You have an Israeli composer who is Jewish, and his music is being performed and celebrated inside a Polish Catholic cathedral. The music itself becomes the bridge. It's literally connecting these two worlds.
And this all comes from his personal worldview. I mean, he grew up in Israel, he spent 14 years in Germany, and his wife is Catholic. So he's lived this. He's come to see this single universal force that connects all of us, instead of focusing on the religious labels that, so often just push us apart.
So for Shaul, it's simple. Music is the ultimate universal language. It just works on a different level. It kind of bypasses all the politics, all the religious arguments, all the conflict, and it speaks directly from one person's heart to another's. No translation needed.
But a philosophy like this doesn't just appear out of nowhere, right? It's deeply, deeply rooted in his own life, in his family's history,
and in the memory of a very special place.
First off, the sound itself carries these echoes from the past. You can literally hear the traditional Jewish melodies that his great-grandfather used to sing. They're woven right into his modern music. It's like a direct line connecting the generations through sound.
But maybe the biggest inspiration of all comes from his hometown, the city of Jaffa. The way he talks about it, it was this place of true symbiosis. You had churches, synagogues, and mosques all standing together. It wasn't just that different cultures and faiths tolerated each other. No, they actually lived together, sharing the same space. And really, that's what his music is all about. It's so much more than just notes on a page. It's like an act of translation. He's taking that living, breathing memory of coexistence and turning it into sound. It's this powerful reminder of what's actually possible.
So this all leaves us with one last question to think about. We live in a world that feels so divided, right? Full of conflict. But the story of this trio, playing in a Polish cathedral, it offers this little glimmer of hope, a different path. It makes you wonder, can a melody, something born from memory and a deep belief in unity, actually build a bridge where so many words have failed?